We know that when excessive regulation and gatekeeping hold back our economy, it means holding back the aspirational dreams of hard-working people. We know that people are hurting across this country.
I think one of the key reasons Pierre Poilievre did so well with the Conservative leadership race, winning with a big majority on the first ballot, bringing in so many crowds all across Canada, and energy we haven't seen in Canadian politics in quite some time, is because of his commitment to freedom, articulating that phrase so often in regards to a number of different scenarios, talking about the freedom for people to do whatever and to be free from the gatekeepers, another phrase he used many times. He talked about freedom when it comes to housing, basically the idea that there's too many restrictions from levels of government about building housing, and that's one of the reasons why it's so difficult for Canadians to buy a home, to get ahead in life. Talking about the freedom from all of these crazy climate taxes and bringing in new fees and regulations nonstop. The Liberal government has a new one every second week. Talking about the freedom from all these excessive COVID rules that we have out there. This idea that even now, at the end of 2022, you got to be fired from your job, or you can't enter the country because you don't have this number of vaccines. It's like, okay, just drop this nonsense already. We have a freedom problem because we haven't had enough freedom the past few years. We've had too many people clamping down on our liberties. We've had too many gatekeepers. And Pierre Poilievre talking about freedom in an expansive way in regards to so many different situations. I really think it served him well. And it's been funny to watch some politicians, some news outlets suggest freedom is this new, like, far-right scary term. Yeah, good luck convincing people of that. I don't think anyone's buying that ridiculous argument.
A country with a small government and big citizens, where the state is servant and the people are the masters.
I guess the question becomes now, though, even though the time is ripe right now for Pierre Poilievre's arguments, will it be that way when there is an election? Because we don't know when there's going to be an election. Unlike in the U.S., you have the primaries where the candidate gets a lot of energy behind Barack Obama's hope and change or Donald Trump's Make America Great Again, lots of excitement, and then it rolls over into the general. They just keep building the momentum for a few months, and then they become president. Here, it could be that there's not actually a general election for a couple of years from now because of this coalition, don't call it a coalition thing that the Liberals and NDP have put together. Basically, it's up to Jagmeet Singh how long he props the government up for. What's it going to be like, though, in a couple years from now, if it is sort of waiting out the clock for an election as long as it can be? Well, I think a lot of these sort of festering concerns out there, this sort of clamping down on people's freedoms when it comes to cancel culture, or just bullying people about X number of vaccines you've had, or, of course, the economic concerns, very real ones, I think they're going to persist for a while.
Now is not the time for politicians to exploit fears and to pit people one against the other. As you all know, the Conservative Party picked a new leader over the weekend. I want to congratulate Mr. Poilievre for becoming the leader of His Majesty's loyal opposition. We've been making every effort to work with all parliamentarians, and we will continue to do so. But this doesn't mean that we're not going to be calling out highly questionable, reckless economic ideas.
And the question is, will Justin Trudeau pivot? Because he doesn't seem to feel our pain right now when it comes to Canadians suffering with the cost of goods, groceries, housing. I mean, he just keeps stubbornly bringing in these more ever-increasing carbon taxes. There's a second carbon tax. He's talking about doing stuff with farmers and fertilizers, which would be like a fourth carbon tax or something. I mean, the guy just can't quit. He's addicted to those sorts of things. Will he step away from it in a way that acknowledges, okay, fine, I'm using my ideologies to make your life worse. Maybe time to put a pause on all of this. Or is he going to keep going with it? Also, with all these interest rate hikes, so many people, even a year from now, 2 years from now, will see their mortgages roll over in ways that see their payments go up quite a lot, hundreds of dollars a month. Going to be a lot of concerns with that. And I think the general frustration's there. And the fact Justin Trudeau's actually been in office for a number of years now, and he's getting pretty stale. He's not energizing people like he used to. I think all that's going to play a lot into Pierre Poilievre probably being the Conservative leader who this time around, yes, does defeat Justin Trudeau.